but looking back on the season and how you're coming in confidence-wise with 20 goals, winning the league, last time in with Ireland, you scored a winner in a big match. Is this as confident as you've ever come into a camp?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, it was a disappointing end to the season for us, but overall, it was a fantastic season. Came away with 2 trophies, and personally for me, it was brilliant. Scored 20 goals. Obviously, like you said, there was the last camp, scored the winning goal, so I'm feeling really good, and I'm looking forward now to these 2 games.
Can you talk about that confidence and what it means for you when you're out in the training pitch or when you're playing matches, how it affects your performance?
Yeah, for me, I've always said it. I think I can build off confidence, you know. I think most strikers will say the same thing. When you're scoring goals, you just have that feeling and you're hungry for more. So it's great to have, you know. I got a nice little bit of rhythm towards the end of the season, and hopefully I can continue this form now coming into camp.
You're up on 30 caps now, and probably fair to say it's been a bit of a roller coaster over those 30 caps. How important were those couple of games in Bulgaria for the group and for the players who've been around the last 5-6 years, where there have been a lot of tough days?
Yeah, it's really important. You know, it was quite frustrating the last couple of camps. You know, it's not winning games when we probably should have, and not qualifying for tournaments where we wanted to be. So these last couple of games have been brilliant for us. You know, to change that mentality, to have that winning attitude, and I think us boys have really gelled properly together. I know some of us have been together now the last 4 or 5 years, and there's been new boys who have been brilliant, and hopefully we can give them that motivation and they can have the right mentality to come into camp, and we want to win every game. You know, we've got two good games now, and it'll be a good test for us going into September.
A lot of the conversations with Hamer around team selection have been around maybe that number 10 role, and whether it's 2 up top or 1 in behind. Do you feel yourself and Evan and Troy and the different strikers, you're all fighting for one position, or do you think 2 of you can play together?
I think whatever the manager chooses, to be honest, it works for us. You know, it's all friendly competition between us. We all get on really good, and all of us can do our bit. I think all 3 of us are 3 different types of strikers, which is good to have. So regardless of who's starting the game, we know we've got fresh legs and something different on the bench, and all of us seem to be doing really well. We're scoring goals, so it's brilliant to have, and hopefully it's a good, hard decision for the manager to have.
Ed, please.
Adam, hi. I suppose since you started with the senior international team, there's been a lot of camps, a lot of I suppose tough camps, whether COVID, team lacking form, change of manager, interim manager. You come into this camp off the back of 2 wins, a pretty settled management and squad. Is there a good feel about the squad now as you all arrive into Dublin this week, sunshine, and is that the way you sort of imagine it should always be like that?
Yeah. No, it's really good feelings, nice vibes around the group. Like you said, the last 2 games we've won, probably not had that in a while, and it's it can take its toll on you. You know, coming into camps on the back of losses is not a great feeling, but it's been really positive, and I think to be fair to the staff, they've made it really good for us, really comfortable. And like I touched on there, having that winning mentality, we've not had that in a long time, and it can be tough when you're not winning games when you should win, and with COVID and that, it's difficult. So yeah, it's been really good for us now, and we just want to continue that going forward because we've got massive games in September.
And that's the continuity from now to September. I imagine the manager's already emphasising the importance of those games and using this camp to just bring the morale and momentum all into September.
100%. I think every player knows what we need to do. I know these are only friendly games, but this is our last chance of being together before the September camp. So it's so important for us to have that momentum going into September now, and hopefully get keeping that winning vibes going.
Alan, kids.
I know you mentioned your confidence within the squad as improving. What do you personally hope to get out of next week?
I think just what I touched on there is that momentum. You know, the last camp we've had 2 really good games and winning, which is the most important thing. So it's to try and win the games. You know, keep that confidence within the squad, and to go into that September game is really important for us. You know, I touched on there it was tough before when you've when you're not winning games and going into the next camp, and it's hard to switch that mentality and attitude around. So we want to keep it on a positive and keep the momentum going.
Is it getting the starting 11 as well and get more minutes? I think your last start was September for Ireland.
No, look, like I touched on now, I want to qualify for tournaments, and that's up to the manager's decision. You know, whether that's me starting or coming off the bench, I want to help the team, and I think the bigger picture at the end of the day is to qualify for the World Cup. I think that's what everyone wants, and you want to be a part of that, whether you're starting or on the bench, or even if you don't come on, you can always help the team. So for me personally, it's up to the manager. Yeah, of course you want to play minutes, but like I said, the bigger picture is to try and qualify.
Full fantasy please.
Adam, you obviously had a good season at Celtic, but there's a lot of talk about the club signing a new striker in the summer. I suppose, are you confident you can continue to be an important member of the squad and get plenty of minutes?
Yeah, 100%. I've had brilliant strikers like Kyogo before, so doesn't bother me. You know, I know myself. The club probably are going to sign a striker, so it makes no difference to me. I'm still going to do my bit and try doing my best for the team, and hopefully have another good season.
This gentleman here.
You're right.
With Josh on coming into the squad now, it's another Cork man. How big for Cork football is that the group keeps expanding? Maybe you're on as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's really good, obviously, for the Cork boys and for the county. It's really nice to see another Cork man come in. It's great, you know, to go back home and have so many Irish lads in the team is class. And Josh has been brilliant. You know, I used to play against Josh when I was a kid, and we've had some good battles. So it's great to see him in here, and hopefully he has a good camp.
Just ask about the pressure of playing for a club like Celtic compared to Norwich. Norwich basically one local paper really, and Celtic, you have such intense media industry, ex-players commenting. If you go 2 games without scoring a goal, it's commented on. Is that a burden? Is that something you have to deal with, just that focus?
Yeah, I think when you go to a big club, you're going to get that wherever, and yeah, it can be tough. You know, the pressure there is a lot, but and you're expected to do a lot, but I think with the experience now, you kind of have to put that behind you, and just you kind of know what you're good at. And like you said there, if you don't score in a couple of games, it's not a case where I'm going to give up and listen to an ex-pro what his thoughts are. I'm not really that concerned on what he thinks. I'm there to do my bit, and I've had a good run in the last couple of games, so I know that it can turn quick, and that's football. You know, I'm sure I'm going to go plenty of games where I go on a bit of a run without scoring. It's just staying focused and trying to help in the team. But yeah, there is a lot of pressure at the club. It's good. I think every player wants to be at big clubs, and what comes with a big club is the pressure.
The other side of that is the focus. And I know Brendan spoke recently about the issue with the video of the taxi, which he said was unfortunate for you. He defended you, and he said the issue was that this is, you know, privacy that somebody can't have it right out. I know it might be difficult to just explain the background to that, or the conversations with Brendan about the video and the impact that had.
It didn't really have an impact on me. It was just I was on a night out, I had a day off, and that was that. And he understood. I had a game on the Sunday, I was off on the Thursday, so it's just going out with the boys, and then that's that. There's no major problems with the manager, and he spoke about it really well.
But does that make you think that you have to really think about what you do, or that everything you do is going to be videoed?
No, of course I know it's going to be video, but at the end of the day, I'm a human being. You know, I'm allowed to go out and enjoy a night out. I'm not a robot where I have to stay inside all the time. And if it's hard when people are videoing. It can be quite upsetting, especially when the story's made out to be what it's not. So it can be tough, but like I said, I'm human. I'm going to carry on what I'm going to do.
John?
Adam, you spoke a lot about qualifying for tournaments. Like, I know it doesn't start in September. What makes you more confident that you can do it this time?
I think just with the boys, the group now, we've gelled a lot better together, and especially the last couple of games, we're getting results where we might not have played well, but we've still managed to grind down and get a result. I think that's what we was lacking before. You know, we played well in previous games, but we weren't getting the results. So I think now it's a lot more positive in the group, and I think we can feel we're a lot closer together. You know, previously it was together a year or two, and it was tough to get going. But now some of us have been here 4 or 5 years now, so I think we really come together and we really want to push to qualify.
Thanks, guys.